a 5G.
What you talking about?
Just a 5G. Just say a 5. Just say 5G.
All aboard the 5G train! How many bloody G's are there?
Good morning. It's right now 20 minutes to 10. I'm catching my flight to Las Vegas. I'm flying over Salt Lake City, 1 hour break in Salt Lake City, then straight to Las Vegas, straight to IWCE 2019. This is actually the first time I'm flying in 2019. The first flight we already had last week, Mobile World Congress, where a lot of interesting things have been discussed around 5G, and I'm taking the 5G topic to IWCE in Las Vegas. The flight time is about 12 hours, and it actually took quite a long time to get access to the United States. I applied for ESTA, and that's the document you need to get before you go into the United States, and it was pending for 2 weeks. At that moment I thought, well, let's take a look what other opportunities are there to enter the United States. So I applied for a visa just 1 week before my flight to Las Vegas. And just the day before yesterday I got my visa. So 2 days ago I got my visa to travel to Las Vegas to get that approved by the American Embassy. And now I'm here. So now I'm here for IWCE 2019. It is the North America show in critical communication, and I am really pumped up already. That's good to be back at the Westgate. Yeah. Oh my god, it's 4:13 a.m. in the morning and I'm already awake. That's the jet lag. Oh. Alrighty. The first meeting is the meeting that I have with Nokia, day number 1. They're at the booth, totally at the back of the exhibition. They were last week at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. We were talking about 5G. They closed a lot of deals on 5G as well. I saw a lot of stuff coming by on press releases over the last few weeks.
Coming from Mobile World Congress, I believe, we all understand that 2019 is the year of 5G. It's being hailed as the year of 5G. And another big theme coming out of Mobile World Congress was everything around the IoT world and the IoT security, and some of the other, Industry 4.0 concepts that 5G is now bringing to the forefront. I think it's a fantastic time to be in public safety, because last couple of years we saw public safety make that quantum leap from potentially relying on land mobile radio as their critical communications, the only critical communications medium, to now being a broadband consuming vertical, and that's slowly but surely starting to push a lot of their critical communications onto broadband. Today what we see in the US is 4G, but there's a clear evolution path to 5G on the connected city. But beyond just the network layer, there's a whole platform for safe cities technology that Nokia has developed using certain third-party applications, using our artificial intelligence platform, using our analytics platform to basically move into more of the the global phenomenon of a safe city, predictive policing, predictive analytics, and as I like to say, it's the Minority Report-esque sort of world that we're slowly moving into, where you're able to detect a person is about to commit a crime before he or she actually commits a crime. Today, from a 5G spectrum perspective, there's a handful of players who own that spectrum, and it's while some may see that as a challenge specifically for the public safety agencies, I believe it opens up a lot more possibilities for us together as an industry to work collaboratively in a very symbiotic sort of relationship.
So I can imagine that Nokia is really excited about the future of critical communications. I'm now trying to identify exactly where the booth of Hytera is. Of course, at the other end of the exhibition. This is John Corson, who started actually 2 years ago in the field of PMR communications, a distributorship, a dealership of Hytera, right?
Yes. For 4G, 5G, it's definitely great going forward, especially when we have the wide area stuff. There's still going to be a place for the people who need their dedicated systems that they can depend on. So many times, especially here in America, we've had some natural disasters, system crashes, nobody can communicate with one another. You still need to have that backup in there that you always will have communication with, which really only the LMR can really offer to it.
Actually, for mission-critical applications, voice is something you could never replace easily with our technologies. So, of course, we are integrating 4G and 5G LTE solutions as a complementary technology for Tetra. Not to replace it, because in the foreseeable future, our vision is that it will continue to be the technology of choice for mission-critical applications.
We've been working hand-in-hand in partnership to understand, who are the innovators in the space that we should be investing in, and then how do we select those, and then how do we bring them through the program.
Yeah. So our team is really formed of first responders that have firsthand seen the need for innovation in the space. So we always start with that. What do the first responders need? And we try to find the solutions from there. And then most of the entrepreneurs we work with have a similar experience. So there's a great need for helping them scale and sell in the industry, and partners like Verizon are really the key to that. So we've been extremely fortunate to be able to leverage this 5G lab to reach great technologies and get them into the hands of first responders at a scalable level that previously we've never seen before in our company's history.
Can I see this as a kind of, how would you say, kind of hackathon, but then a continuous hackathon of new companies going into that lab and developing?
Actually, we don't really like that word because the solutions are built out. These are companies that are selling and they're actually already putting technology into the hands of first responders. These aren't ideas. These are real vetted solutions that came from problems that we verified. And so we're taking technology that's ready to go and we're doing everything we can to get it out there.
You think it's going to happen tomorrow, right?
Yes, I think it's ready tomorrow.
That's kind of interesting. So why do you think we're already that far?
Yes, why? Because a lot of demand regarding the digitalization around the operation in the airport, for Air France, sure, in the airport, but we have a lot of demand regarding the number of the connecting we can have on the operation of the airport, like the aircraft. The predictive maintenance is arriving today. Yes. Really, we have a lot of discussion with Airbus, for example, to check how we can connect the aircraft on the ground to be able to load a lot of predictive maintenance information.
Okay, so that means that you already are ready to implement 5G, or is it already partly implemented?
No, it's not. We are not ready, but I want to make some trial in France. I hope next year, if we can do that, it's really interesting. Following the private LTE that we made, we are ready because the infrastructure is open to do that, to test the 5G with some frequency on spectrum, because we need spectrum to make some trial, and I think we could do that next year or 2 years after.
So what you saw last week at Mobile World Congress, everybody was talking about 5G, everybody was talking about IoT. They were talking about the same things a year ago. But what's happened now is the networks are ready, the base stations are ready. They're even rolled out in some countries. A lot of the equipment from the major manufacturers are 4G, 5G compatible on the same base station. So that's there. Terminals are not quite there yet. They're almost on the horizon to come out. So from a cellular point of view, 5G is almost there. From a mission critical point of view, do we care? That's the real question, right? Is how does it impact what we're doing at this show? For me, 5G to a carrier is extremely important because I get more capacity, I get lower latency, which is more use cases, and I can use more spectrum and get a hell of a lot more capacity through my network. For a mission critical user, well, great, more capacity is always good. But that's not a limitation today. What we want to do today with mission critical is to get voice over that and good data for video. 4G is more than ample for what we want to do today. And our applications in general are riding across the network from the device to a cloud server. The fact that the network gets faster and bigger, that's wonderful. But there's nothing that stops us today from using a network.
So it doesn't matter if it's 5G, 6G, 7G?
No.
LTE serves famously as our mechanism for mobile broadband and public safety for the coming years. Truly, there will be use for 5G in certain use cases, and 5G will expand to encompass those use cases. It's not critical that it happen immediately, but it is a path forward for when we need it.
Good, Andy, it's time to sit down, right, for a moment.
It is.
It's time. Okay, so I'm curious about your opinion about 5G for public safety.
Well, let me start by telling you that I have been involved in LMR and cellular radio since almost the beginning of time, 40-some years. And during that period of time, and also in the PC business, periodically the industry needs the next gold rush. They need to find the next gold mine that's going to make everybody rich. And the problem is that it becomes real, but it doesn't become real in the time frame that the gold people are looking for. They're looking to hype something that's not quite ready for prime time. And what I see happening in the United States is the network operators are rushing to put out 5G. Right now, all they have is the ability to replace fiber or cable to the home, which is fine, that's good, I like that. But FirstNet, built with AT&T, has promised that 5G will be able to be used on public safety also. There's a lot of advantages when 5G is up and operating and working. And my belief is that's still 2 years away, 3 years away.
Smartphones supported by the Android OS and Apple iOS are backed by surveillance and data mining business practices, meaning that the OS developers have commoditized or monetized their users. So they utilize pre-installed apps and or third-party apps to surveil and data mine the product user for financial gain. This is usually done for third parties such as advertisers. The apps are programmed to enable the app developer to collect calendar information, contact information, location data. I call it surveillance data, but it's location data, as well as the apps can take over the device's sensors, including the accelerometers, so they know when you're sitting, walking, and so forth. As well as the apps are programmed to take over the hardware, the camera and the microphone, so that the app developers can conduct audio and video surveillance of the user within a confidential and protected environment, such as the defense industry, critical infrastructure, government, or enterprise business. That capability could actually, well, it does. It presents privacy and cybersecurity challenges that need to be addressed.